Good morning, Stitchers. It is March 16th, and here in Lehi, Utah, it's sunny, few puffy clouds. Going to be a very nice day. It's going to be 43 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 6 degrees Celsius for my other friends. And it's going to go to a high of 54, which will be 12 degrees Celsius. So I want to welcome you. I've had a lot of new subscribers in the last week or two, so I want to welcome all of you. And also say thanks to all of my other subscribers, which I will not call you old because I don't like that word. So to all my other subscribers who have been with me since the beginning, thank you. I tend to be an eclectic stitcher, and so I like to stitch all kinds of types of patterns. I like samplers to full coverage. I like prim stitching to modern. So if you like a sampling of different kinds, I mostly stick to just stitching. So, and just a tiny bit of life updates. That's just me. So if you like that kind of a video, feel free to join me, and please subscribe if you could. Anyway, I am Colette. Took me a while to introduce myself. I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and I'm here to give you my stitching from the highway and at home, and there will be some life updates at the end. I do a few, which will show you what I will be doing, whether it will be stitching at the highway or at home. I also, another thing I like to do in my videos is I love putting pictures of the places I travel. That's why I'm called the Highway Stitcher. And I hope you enjoy those pictures. I get a lot of comments that people do. So I really enjoy that. I love the beauty of our country, and I just love to show the pictures of it. So anyway, join me, and I'm going to go on and do exactly what... Oh, before I do that and go on and do exactly what I'm here for, I do need to remind you of something. I did my 50th floss tube 2-year anniversary about 2 videos ago. You can look it up on my history of videos. It's the one that called I Made It or something like that. But anyways, the number 51. I have 3 giveaways that I'm doing if you put down the right words in a comment. So please go back and check. It's at the beginning of my video, so you won't have to go through very far. And you know, put down your comments, because I've got one gift certificate for 1, 2, 3, as well as a couple other really nice patterns. One's a kit and the other's a nice pattern. So anyway, the more the merrier. I'd love to have more people be interested and comment, and the comments are fun too. So I will continue that to the end of the month. So feel free to join in on that, and maybe you'll win. So, okay, now I'm going to go on. Before I show you my whips, which are works in progress, I'm going to show you some FFOs. And they're framed FFOs. So those are fully finished objects, and I'm pretty excited about these. So hopefully I can remember all the stuff about them. I did write down some things. So, and I'm going to have to move back here to show these good. Okay. First one is, I think it's called Women of the Mayflower, and it's by Brenda Gervais. Long, narrow ones, so I have to stand back here, or sit back here to show you. This was a fun piece for me. As well, it wasn't necessarily a fun piece to stitch. For some reason, I didn't quite enjoy stitching it, but I just love seeing it come together. It's stitched on a 40 count Vintage Country Mocha with the called for floss. So it actually came as a kit. To celebrate the 400th anniversary of the landing of the Mayflower in America. So, show you a little bit closer how the fabric looks, and also to show you that that blue on there for that one person's name is my actual direct ancestor. I'm an ancestor of I'm a descendant of a Mayflower woman, and all the rest of these names on here are women of the Mayflower who sailed and came across here to America. So anyway, I love this framing job, and I'm really excited about it. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say about it. I don't think so, other than they landed a little later than what the date was. I think the date was supposed to be November 11th or 13th or something like that. But mine landed a little later than that, but they did make it before the new year. So that's my first FFO. So, okay, the next one is a really old finish. I started this in, before I show it, I'll tell you a little bit about it. I started it in, I believe, around 2010 in California before I moved here to Utah. So it was worked on, stopped, worked on, stopped. It languished, my word, languished for quite a while. But then I picked it up again thinking, well, I really need to finish this. It was my first attempt, actually my second attempt at a sampler, and it had quite a few specialty stitches. It's called Delaware Inspiration. There you get a full scene of it there without the glare of the glass. This was an actual pattern by, I actually started it as a class piece, but you can get it as a pattern now. It's from the designer Heart's Ease Exemplar Works, which I will have below, and that is Teresa Bard, I'm not sure how you say her last name. She designs exquisite sampler pieces, as you can see from some of the beautiful flowers, borders, the letters. There's some over one, you know, just all kinds of just satin stitches, just beautiful. She just designs beautiful samplers. So this is called Delaware Inspiration, but its nickname is Lina Lamont. If you want to hear that story, I will put down below to you why she is called Lina, and tell you what episode to go to. But if any of you watch Singing in the Rain, it alludes to that alludes to this piece and why it's called Lina. Anyway, that's my second fully finished object. So I'm really proud of her, especially since she was like such a long piece that I sat, you know, I worked on, and that I finally got her done, and she was my very second sampler after Wisdom Sampler. Okay, my third one is Plantation Sampler. This was my birthday start for 2019. Love the framing on this also. This is a Canterbury Designs piece, Plantation Sampler. I started it on my birthday, October 29th in 2019, and finished it just before my birthday in 2020. So I could start another OCT 29 cell for 2020. This one was such a fun piece to do. This is stitched on 32 count, let's see, pecan butter. And I updated the colors. I spent some time in Shepherd's Bush up here near me in Ogden, Utah. Beautiful, wonderful stitching shop. And Terry there, one of the owners, and me went through and decided on some updated modern colors on it. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There you can see some of the border, the writing, the house. That house was so fun. And all the critters in their grass. So this piece, from what I've heard, is almost impossible to find. The designer of this piece and my Wisdom Sampler is Donna Vermillion, who passed away. Her daughter has the rights to a lot of her patterns, and you can get some of them, including, I believe, Wisdom Sampler, on either eBay, or there might be other ways of getting it, and not at very expensive prices from what I've been told. But this piece was actually done out of a booklet by a place called Canterbury Designs, and I think they still have the rights to it because it's just, I have not seen it hardly anywhere, and I think Canterbury Designs probably still has the rights to it, and the daughter cannot sell it. So, one thing I forgot to mention about Delaware Sampler. Always things to forgot. This was stitched on 36 count. Oh, let's see. It's also a Lakeside linen, pearl barley. And this was stitched with DMC. So it shows you how beautiful DMC can actually be in a sampler. Because I didn't have the money back then, but I wanted to stitch the sampler. So, forgot to tell you what was stitched on. I am just so happy with those pieces. I framed them at Jill Ransel Studios. She does a beautiful job framing, and I'll put her information below if anybody's interested in contacting her and sending things to be framed. Okay, now on to whips. And I'm just going to pull these off of the table in no particular order. This is temperature typography, happen to be on the top. This is one of those temperature pieces where it shows the highs in a particular color. And this is Stitchy Mommy's design, who is Sarah, Stitchy Mommy on FlossTube, as well as Instagram. And this time I did this. I usually just do it once a week, and I pick up and do one letter. So I completed the A for March. And if you look closely, you can see just like the M, there was a big jump in fluctuation in different temperatures this week also. That lighter green is like almost 70, and then the blues go down to like low 40s, mid 40s. So we've been going kind of wild lately. At least we didn't get all that tons and tons of feet of snow though. This is being stitched on 32 count Be Stitched to Me fabric. Very nice fabric. I've been getting it as a monthly Fabric of the Month Club. And this one is called, let's see, Peanut. And this is a Peanut Lugana. And I'm using DMCs, the ones that I chose for the different temperatures, highs. So that's temperature typography. Okay, my next one is, I didn't take this one out of the Q-snaps. I apologize, but I was working on it last night. This is the Linen and Threads 2021 sampler. They're like mystery sal of the month. And it's called Talavera, and it's based on the Spanish pottery tiles in Spain, or the beautiful different colored tiles. And you choose what you want to put for your colors. So this has kind of been my color choice. Some royal blue, 2 different teals, and this kind of bolder dark gold and yellow. We are supposed to complete this month these long parts. This piece has just taken a long time. It just takes a long time to work on. I'm not sure why it just is so slow for me. Maybe it isn't slow for other people, I don't know, but for me it is just keeps moving on slowly. I do not believe I will get it done by the parts that need to be done by the end of March when we start up the other, but I'm just going to do the best I can. It is moving a little faster because I've kind of almost memorized the motifs, the way they go, and the coloring, and I almost don't even have to look at the pattern now, so that's good. And so it's making it work a little faster. But each one of these is like 200 stitches, and so it's just kind of moving slow. But I still like it. I love the coloring on it. Oh, it is being stitched on 32 count. This is a white Lugana, just a traditional white, so those pretty tiles for the Talavera look show up behind it. And my chosen DMC floss. And I'm stitching it 2 threads over 2. Okay, next one here on the table is one of my full coverages, the only one I'm showing for this week that I worked on. This is an Artecy pattern called the Lacemaker, a Lacemaker. I'm using this for a full coverage Fanatics 21,000 stitches in 2021. And I got off of that when I went to visit my sister. So now I'm trying to play catch up. It may take me a while to catch up, but I want to catch up. So anyway, this is what I worked on every day of the week this week. So I got 700 stitches. I did 100 stitches or 100 stitch block every day. And I have to show you close because, as you can see, it's all white, or pretty much. Over there on that section there is a very pale light blue that's beginning to come in. The white stitching is just a bear to me. I just really do not enjoy it. Maybe it's the white on white. Maybe I just want to see more colors coming. I was discussing it with Sarah. And it's just, I don't know, it just is so, I just don't feel like doing it. But after these 700 stitches this last week, which I did an awful lot of like this area down here to do all the white and then continue over there with that light blue, I'm feeling more excited to continue on it because I know that soon, in a few more blocks, I will be hitting some confetti. And believe it or not, I'm looking forward to confetti, everybody. Every one of you who's a full coverage person. I am looking forward to the confetti. So it'll finally start looking like something. This is being stitched on 25 count, just a white Lugana that I'm just marking myself. I'm marking it with a air and water soluble pen from Joann's. That has worked really well because all I do is just mark it in like 100 blocks, so I'm ready to just stitch up to that. The next day it's gone. I checked it ahead of time to make sure it would be that way, and it is, so it's been working out well for me to count. And this is one thread over one, which is, full cross, which is most of my full coverage. Okay, the third thing, oh my goodness, my throat. My throat gets so dry during winter around here. The third pattern that I worked on, I'm not going to take out the plastic, but you can see it pretty well, is Those Who Sing by the Drawn Thread. This is my this year's birthday sal. My hashtag, if you want to join, and if you like this pattern, it's hashtag OCT29SAL, which is October 29th, and that is my birthday. I'm doing this sal with Krista Gramer, who is my birthday twin. We share the same birthday. And also Sarah, Stitching Mommy, wanted to join in. She had the pattern. So feel free, anybody else. It is just a beautiful pattern, and I love the saying on it. Those who sing will always find a song. Or those who wish to sing will always find a song. It's such a pretty pattern. Has a few specialty stitches, but not too many. I worked on this Friday evening for a couple hours when I did a video chat with Sarah. I only got accomplished, since I was talking too much. Let's see, I have it written down here. I guess I don't have it written down. I think I got about 150 stitches. I stitched some more of the trunk there, and those two leaves. A little bit of progress. I hope to continue doing that, and we could work on it together, and I'll get a little more accomplished on this. I didn't take it out of the Q snaps, but you could see from the actual pattern what it looked like. This is being stitched on a really nice mottled fabric on the front by Zweigart. It's one of their ones where they, I think, do a stamp die or something. It's not like a overdyed on both sides. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but what's cool about it is that you can get some real pretty colors from them, and the prices are much more reasonable than like a overdyed on both sides. This is a 32 count vintage Zweigart vintage Stormy Night. As you can see by the modeling, it's kind of grays, blues, and a mottled look to it. And I'm stitching it with the I'm stitching it with the colors. It had two colorways. One was with dinky dyes, which are silks, and the other with overdyeds, mostly Gentle Arts. And I chose to do the overdyeds with the Gentle Arts since I already had them in my stash, most of them. So this is coming along. It's 2 threads over 2 on a 32 count. Okay, the next one, quite a bit of stitching this week. Next one is I started and worked on this sampler called 2020 Pandemic Sampler. On Instagram, there is a Instagram hashtag called It's Been a Hell of a Year Sal. All you do is just put all those words together and you come up with the Instagram. I'm not sure who came up with that. Emily C. from Eclectic Possessions is one of the ones I think who really wanted to start this Sal. And so it may have been her brainchild, I don't know. But cute hashtag name. Anyway, this is by Christine. Let's see. Oh, Christy. This is by Christy Stephenson, whose Instagram hashtag is SarcyGirl, which is SarcyGurl on Instagram. And you can go to her Instagram page and get one of these patterns and stitch it also to commemorate our crazy last year. So. And this is what I did. I didn't pull this off the Q snaps, this one either. Several of them weren't that way this time. But I wanted to let you see what I got done. I'm putting paper behind this because this is just absolutely beautiful fabric, and I don't want the light from the window to detract from it. This is an 18th century Blackbird by R&R, and it's just turning out just really nice, and I'm just using the DMC colors that are called for in the pattern. I wanted it on darker fabric, just as she did. She had it on a dark fabric that she had dyed. But I pulled this out and saw that it looked like when I did a floss toss that the colors were going to be nice. So I went for it, and I'm really, really happy that I did. So there you can see a little bit of the work I did on it. It's on 40 count. That's a 40 count R&R. 18th century Blackbird with the called for DMC floss, and I'm using 1 thread over 2. I just love this piece. I wish I could work on it every day, but there's other things that I want to work on too. So I worked on it once this week and got that accomplished, so I'm pretty happy. Okay, I'm going to move on now to 2 or 3 zombie run pieces, which is a challenge by Daily 30 group, Daily 30 Stitching group, which you can look up and see whether or not there's any openings to join. It's a closed group, but every now and again she opens it up. The zombie run challenge, in a nutshell, to explain it again, is picking 4 pieces for the year that you want to do some significant stitching on. Now, I've been really excited because I picked pieces I wanted to get finished so I can put another zombie run piece in, which you are allowed to do when you finish one of the others. I have finished one already. I showed it last week, I believe, Amazing Grace by Erica Michaels. So I am on a roll, and I'm going to try to get other pieces finished. Anyway, this one won't be one of the next ones I finish, but I know it's going to get finished soon in the next few months. This is a kit that I got years ago in Solvang, California, which is a little Danish town. and it had a really cute needlework store in it that had needlepoint and stitching kits, cross stitch kits. The company is Needle Treasures. The name is Feeding Time. I had a commenter mention to me that she did obtain a copy of this pattern on eBay, so I guess it does show up every now and again on eBay, but it's not available to buy anymore. And this is a companion to another piece that I finished called Goat Herder, and they're both little Hummel characters. She's feeding her chickens, and the little boy was herding his goats. So this is a piece I want to finish this year. It's stitched. It's on Aida, the kit fabric, 2 threads over 1, with the floss that came with it. Last month when I worked on it, I got my 400 plus stitches, which is what's required for Zombie Run. And this month I also did my 400 plus. And what I accomplished was from here on this chicken down to here, as well as just a little bit of the feathers dripping down there, some of this leg here, and all of that leg there. So it is moving along. The whole top part is done. I will undo it again for you sometime and show you. Not today, but I will, when I get closer to the finish, I will unroll the scroll bar and show you. Because I have most of it, I have all of it done from the top all the way down to there. So I only really have to finish up the chickens' bodies and the little baby chick there and the grass and the Hummel name. I do have to do the back stitching, but the actual stitching, that's all that I have left. So anyway, that was the one Zombie Run piece, which I got that much done on it. I also worked on another Zombie Run piece this week. This is Garden Prelude by Mirabilia. I love this. This has been so much fun to work on. Every time I pick it up, it's a joy to stitch, and I really enjoy it. I'm stitching this on 32 count, Picture This Plus Demoiselle. Demoiselle is kind of a very lightly modeled Picture This Plus fabric in 32 count. Not easy to see exactly how it looks except in person, but it's real pretty. Hints of blues and greens and pinks that you can just barely pick up. Here she is. And what I accomplished on her for this 400 stitches is the tie. I had barely started the tie here, so I finished up that and all the rest of that part, and then into her dress from here on down. Got about 460 stitches or so done. I'm stitching this with a called for floss also, and 2 over 2 threads, 2 threads over 2. This piece is on my Zombie Run because I do want to get it done this year. It's a present for my granddaughter Mari. She is almost 18. She'll be 18 next month, and she's been an excellent violin player all her life. Has been in orchestras and bands, and she's been playing since she was 4. So I did a skin and color change on it to reflect Mari. She has kind of reddish or brownish red hair, as well as lighter skin tone. So that I'm happy with that mount done for that Zombie Run. Okay, my last Zombie Run piece is one that I'm working on for a finish as soon as I can. I'm going to use it for the rest of my probably miles if I can. This is Welcome to the River by Hinzeit, and I am doing it on a 28 count mystery linen, some kind of natural linen. I started this as a Stitch Mania start back in 2018, so I wasn't good at keeping what the names of the linens were, but it's probably some like art base. It feels like it, and it's a natural color, So, let me see if I can put something behind this to show. I didn't bring my board. Not perfect, but it might help a little bit. So I'm on a roll with this. So this is stitched 2 threads over 2 on the 28 count mystery linen with the call for DMC. Last week I finished up the R, if any of you were following me then. This week I did all the I and started on the V. There's a lot of fill-in full coverage on that, so it takes a while to do, but I was on a roll and really enjoying it, so I kept working on it. Love the colors in this, a lot more than I like the actual photo on the pattern. It's one of those where it just looks beautiful when you put those colors in. With the river there, you know, the pictures of the river with the white caps and then the trees and then the land in between. So this is my focus zombie run piece, and I'm working towards a finish on it, so hoping for that in a couple weeks. I'm gonna keep going. My 4th zombie run piece will be new, and I'll show it next week. It's a new one added in place of Amazing Grace. Okay, this is my Whip Go piece, Jessie Marie's Whip Go, where it's like a bingo, but you put in stitched pieces for the bingo part. She picked out number 10 and I believe number 24. I worked on number 10 this last week a couple times, and I got in 405 stitches, a couple of 100 stitches on each day. Sorry for my little magnet here. I stuck it there so I wouldn't lose it, so I could put it back in the piece when I was done. This is called Arcadia. Okay, little horse, move out of the way so we can see. That's Arcadia by Satsuma Street. Aka, It's a Small World. To me, it reminds me so much of It's a Small World. Started this when we had a family trip to Disneyland, and now I'm picking it up and I want to work more on it as a Whip Go piece. It's stitched on 28 count, no, not 28 count, what am I saying? 25 count Alaska Blue Lugana. Isn't that a beautiful blue? I love this blue. It is just so pretty. Just a beautiful blue. I wanted a blue very much like what Satsuma Street had. And I was really having a hard time finding one. Everything I was finding was modeled, you know, because, of course, people like overdyeds. I just wanted a straight blue for this. And I finally found some, but it was only in 25 count. So I thought, I want it big anyway. So I'm just doing 2 over 2 on 25 count. This will be a big piece, but that's what I want, is I want it nice and big. To show off my version of It's a Small World. So what I worked on this week is those 2 little parts of the roof and the metallic little flags off the top. This is being stitched with the called for threads, which are DMCs, some of the light effect metallics, and regular floss. It's been so fun to stitch on this, except with the metallics is not as much fun, but it sure looks pretty. So that's my Whip Go. I accomplished my hours. I do hours on what I wanted for my goals for Whip Go. So Arcadia has had its hours, so I will move on to number 24 next week and let you know what that is. Okay, I have no haul or Stitchy Kindness this week, so I'm going to go on to plans and wrap up. I am picking up, it's getting close to Easter, and I probably should have started this at Lent, because that's what I did last year, but I got busy and forgot. But I'm picking it up now for the last couple weeks before Easter. This is called Lost No More. It's a gold collection kit. And I love this piece. Really, really love it. So I'm working on it for Easter. My friend Brenda and I started this last Easter. She has continued every day working on a little bit of it, but I had to set it aside for some other pieces that needed to get, or I wanted to get work done on them. Since this is a kit, it's just on the called for color, which is a real pretty tan color with the flosses that came with it. This was how I ended last year, right after Easter. I think a few days after Easter I stopped. So for a few weeks progress, I think I worked on it quite a bit, and that was all I worked on. So I got quite a bit done. So now I'm going to pick it up. It will only just be like my 1 hour a day working on it, but I'll get some more done on it, and I'll be happy with that. So, and it's a good reminder of the Easter season, and I do love this piece, so I'll be happy to work on it now. Okay, the other one that I will be working on this week will be my 4th Zombie Run piece, and it's a new one that replaced Amazing Grace. I picked another Stitch Mania start that I started way 3 years ago that was languishing. This is Sheep May Safely Graze by Homespun Elegance. This is really a small piece, and I should be able to get this done, I think. So that's why I put it into the new Zombie Run in place of my finished piece. And you can see that actually, because I made a mistake on how much fabric I calculated. I thought it was going to be a little bigger. So as you can see, it's not an extremely large piece, so it should be very doable to get done. It's being stitched on 28 count Vintage Country Mocha by Swigart, another real pretty fabric that is just stamped with the modeling on the front and not on the back. I love Vintage Country Mocha just as a go-to. And it wasn't even called for this piece. Actually, there was another, I don't remember, I'd have to look at the thing now what it was called for, but I've just picked this up and I've been really happy because I'm using the called for overdyes for it, and it's working out nice. It's 2 threads over 2. Let's see. My plan on this is to hopefully get an eventual finish in the next month and a half. But right now, River, Welcome to the River, is taking precedence. I want that done, and then I will go and start working full time on this. Because as you can see from what's being done, I do have some fill in that shape. That'll take a while to do. But and I may be being too optimistic on my goal. But that's all right, because I'm just going to work on it steadily for Zombie Run after Welcome is done. So that's another plan that I'm putting in next week. I'm also going to continue working, of course, on Talavera, on the Lacemaker, on the temperature typography. Okay, and just some fast life updates. Boy, I was trying to keep this under 30 minutes, and it's still over. As many of you know, I had a dear friend whose son passed away in a car accident. Second car accident I've had to deal with in 3 months. Because my sister's husband passed away also in a car accident. I went to the funeral on Friday. It was really, really very difficult to be there, but also very, very special. What a loving family to each other. The three other children in the family got up and spoke about Trevor, about their brother, and I'm just amazed that they could do it. And I was very, very touched by what they said. And he was a very special spirit in their family. And so anyway, I pray for them now as they go on, especially Jane, my good friend, who's Trevor's mom, that they will be lifted up and comforted, and that our Heavenly Father will watch over them. If any of you are so inclined, please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Also, happy thing this week, my oldest grandson, he turned 14 on Sunday, but we took him out on Saturday. He loves sushi. We took him out to eat and took him to his favorite sushi place, and he got loads of sushi, and he was a happy boy. So happy birthday to Zach, 14 years. That's amazing. So, okay, anyway, I'm going to end this and give you my daily gratitude. For this month, I've been sticking with the month of March. They've been talking about friendship and gratitude. And this is March 29th. This pretty picture in the snow, walking through the snow. And this is by Robert Louis Stevenson. And it says, "We are all travelers in the wilderness of this world, and the best we can find in our travels is an honest friend. So that is true. I know that when you travel through sometimes those difficult times or the good times, you're grateful for that good friend, that best friend beside you. So remember to look for the good out there when you're traveling at home and on the highway. It's there. Look around you. It's everywhere. Love you guys all, and I'll hopefully see you next week. And it will be next week from the river because we are heading to our second home on the river. So I'm hoping to be able to do a video there for you and show you what I got accomplished. So anyway, you guys all take care. Remember to keep traveling if you can, or start it up again. Love you all. Bye-bye.